Okay, let's take a break from a couple of things and get ready for spring. We're coming into the season where one of my favorite things to do is to look for wild edible plants and just learn plants. And so of course I went through my references and decided on my favorite book. I have books from trees, shrub identification, which doesn't mean landscaping. There are so many trees that we see every day that are classified as shrubs. I really like that book. The images are from photography, it looks like, and black and white, and some are too dark. It's a little tough to get some good identification in that book, but it is still useful and one of my favorites. North American trees I really like. North American wildflowers I really like when I need that. One of my favorites, been in my family for 4 generations. I'm the 3rd person to own it, and that is the Herbalist. I really like the Herbalist. It's a very small hardcover, and there's so much information in it that the illustrations are very small and the amount of text that you get is very small, but still I really like the Herbalist. And another one of my very favorites is Plants of Teton in Yellowstone. I really like the photography in that one, and a lot of the plants that you see in that book we also have here in the northern Midwest in our northern forest. Through it all, in my search for a reference, I went from trees and flowers, and I wanted to narrow down to herbal medicine and wild edibles. And then the book I have chose, it's Edible Plants by Pamela Forey and Cecilia Fitzsimmons. This is my favorite one so far. I really appreciate that it is hardcover, because it'll spend a lot of time. It already has spent a lot of time in a knapsack. And the way the book is set up, you will see borders at the top of the pages that are color-coded. And of course this introduces the category, roots and tubers, and there will be a little picture. Here's a little picture, kind of looks like a carrot. Down at the bottom there are little images. You'll see, I think, an apple that may have a bite out of it, and different symbols that tell you what the plant is used for, as well as these little paragraphs of text. And so you will see categories, roots and tubers. You'll see, looks like little cherries, the plants you mainly use, the fruits, and of course the alternatives are down at the bottom, and they will list other qualities of the plant, and as well as if it has some poison parts of the plants. Coming into spring, I'm a little early, but my goal this year, basically, besides to identify plants and learn more about them, I want to get narrowed down to plants for forage, and so I will rule out greens and such, because I want to learn the plants that have more food value, plants that may have more starch, and so that's going to involve a lot of tubers, and this book is very good for the tubers. And so basically another part of that goal is I want to photograph plants at their stages of development. I want to say that illustrations usually show a plant at some level of maturity where they have flowered or even produced fruit. And so I want to photograph plants at different stages along the way, and basically hopefully be able to identify the plants in the fall when their season is over, and there's just simply less foliage to look at to identify the plant and learn more about where they grow. So this is a quickie on my wild edible plants. Again, here's my favorite book, Edible Plants by Pamela Forey and Cecilia Fitzsimmons, and you may see this again in the future because it'll be in the knapsack and as I photograph plants. So once again, this is my little quickie video on my favorite text for the wild edible plants. And I mentioned in my intro I would do some reviews. This is the first of the book review, and so basically thanks subscribers and viewers, and there's my first choice. Hope the camera's focusing in on that. Okay, let's go do some more limbing and maybe spot a plant. Thanks.